Sometimes life feels full of silent moments, pauses where it seems like nothing is happening. You look around and wonder, where are the answers I prayed for? Where are the blessings I worked so hard to sow? But today, I want you to reflect on something deeply transformative. Silence is not absence. It is the stage where God and the universe work tirelessly, preparing the greatest gifts, those that will change the course of your life. With every challenge we face, another piece of the divine puzzle is put into place. You may not see the whole picture yet, but know this: what is hidden now will be revealed at the right time. There is a promise over your life, and it is not small. Imagine the invisible work of a craftsman, patiently and precisely shaping something extraordinary. That is what's happening right now. Your story is not stagnant, it's being carefully written. Every tear, every closed door, every moment of waiting is part of a grand plan. It's no coincidence that you're here, hearing this message. You were guided to this moment because something greater is happening, something you may not yet perceive but will soon see as clearly as sunlight. So, allow yourself to dive into this journey, because together we will explore what it means to live in anticipation of what's to come and how what is hidden may be the greatest gift you have ever received. What does it mean for something to be hidden? From a spiritual perspective, what is hidden is not lost. It is simply waiting for the exact moment to be revealed. It's like a seed planted in the soil. You don't see it sprouting, but you know something is happening beneath the surface. Similarly, God uses periods of concealment as times of preparation, both for you and for the blessings yet to come. The hidden is an invitation to patience, to trust in the divine plan. When God hides something, it's not because He wants you to give up, but because He wants you to trust. That trust shapes your character and strengthens your faith. It prepares you to receive the revelation without fear. Think of time. It is a divine tool that organizes chaos into purpose. In the spiritual view, time is not linear. God doesn't work in haste because He doesn't operate within our limitations. He sees the full picture. While we wait, He is moving pieces, aligning situations, and preparing hearts. How often have you felt that a door was closed, only to later realize it was a detour to something far greater? The hidden is not a barrier but a protection. It's a sacred pause, a reminder that what truly matters cannot be rushed. This period of concealment is also a call to introspection. God invites us to look within, adjust our intentions, and align ourselves with the purpose He has already laid out for us. So, when the revelation comes, we are ready not only to receive it but also to honor it. Therefore, if you feel like you're in a moment of waiting, know this: what is hidden now is being cared for and prepared to be revealed. And when it arrives, it will be greater than you could have ever imagined. Divine justice operates in ways that transcend our limited understanding. Throughout life, we may encounter situations that seem unfair, where suffering and pain become constants. However, what may appear as injustice to human eyes is often God's silent work, shaping us, purifying us, and preparing us for something far greater. Divine justice does not seek revenge but restoration. While our human tendency is to desire retribution, God works to balance all things, returning what was lost and healing what was broken. This justice is not swift but perfect. It reaches depths that our comprehension could never fathom. We can see examples of this justice in spiritual stories that echo through time. Joseph, sold into slavery by his own brothers, spent years in circumstances that seemed destined for failure. Yet God did not abandon him. Every moment of suffering was preparation, and when the time came, he was elevated to a position of leadership in Egypt, not just to prosper but to save his own family. Moses, exiled to the desert, was shaped by years of solitude and uncertainty before being called to free an entire people from slavery. Even Jesus, during his earthly journey, was tested, rejected, and crucified, only to rise in glory and bring redemption to humanity. These examples show us that God works on a scale far greater than we can imagine. He is not merely fixing the present, He is redesigning the future. And just like these great spiritual leaders, you too are being prepared. The situations that seem unfair today are, in fact, divine opportunities. The injustice you face now is creating space for God's grace to work in your life. And when He acts, it won't just be to balance the scales but to take you beyond what you dreamed. So instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" ask, "What is God preparing for me?" Your patience and faith are the keys to experiencing this divine justice that restores, elevates, and transforms. The true wealth we seek in life is not found in material things but within ourselves. Often we spend so much time chasing external goals that we forget the real treasure lies hidden, waiting to be discovered. God has hidden within our hearts and our journeys what is most precious: a greater purpose, a divine mission, and a spiritual alignment that gives meaning to everything we do. The process of rediscovering this treasure is like opening a chest that has been buried for years. First, you must dig, and that means facing the challenges and difficulties that shape us. Every adversity is an opportunity to reveal a part of ourselves we never knew before. Often, the treasure is not just what we find but the strength, resilience, and wisdom we gain along the way. These hidden treasures are not only in our gifts and talents but also in the lessons we learn throughout life. It is in the silence of difficult nights, in the tears we shed, and in the prayers whispered in desperation that God shapes us, revealing the preciousness He placed within us. Self-discovery is often the greatest gift we can receive. When we begin to understand who we truly are, we discover that we were created with a unique purpose, a reason for being here. This purpose connects us to the divine and gives us a sense of fulfillment that the material world could never offer. However, this doesn't mean material blessings are not part of the journey. They are tools given by God to help us fulfill our mission. But it is essential to remember that they are not the end, only the means. When we place our faith and focus on the divine purpose, material blessings naturally align with our path. So ask yourself, what do you truly value? What have you been relentlessly pursuing? Perhaps the true treasure is closer than you imagine, waiting for you to look within and trust the process of discovery. God not only hid these treasures for you to find but also gave you all the tools to access them. Forgiveness. This word carries a profound emotional weight, and for many, it seems to be one of the greatest challenges on the spiritual journey. However, forgiveness is not just an act of kindness toward others. It is a key that frees us from the invisible chains tying us to the past. When we forgive, we break the bonds that block our spiritual and emotional growth, allowing blessings to flow into our lives. Forgiveness is, above all, an act of personal liberation. When we hold on to pain, hurt, or resentment, it's as if we're carrying a heavy burden that prevents us from moving forward. These accumulated emotions create barriers between us and what God desires to give us. Forgiveness, therefore, is not about justifying or accepting the behavior of those who hurt us. It is about refusing to let those wounds define us. The practice of forgiveness brings us closer to unconditional love. When Jesus, in His agony on the cross, declared, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do," He showed us the purest example of love and grace. He knew that forgiveness was the only way to restore peace, both in the heart of the forgiver and the spirit of the forgiven. Forgiving does not mean forgetting the pain or erasing the scars. It means choosing not to let those wounds dictate our future. It's a process that requires courage, faith, and sometimes time. But every step toward forgiveness is a spiritual victory. It's also important to forgive ourselves. Often, we are our harshest critics, and the guilt we carry can keep us trapped in cycles of self-sabotage. God doesn't ask for perfection. He asks for a heart willing to learn, grow, and begin again. Self-forgiveness is a way to accept divine grace and allow it to work in our lives. When we forgive, we make room for something greater: restoration. Forgiveness clears our hearts and minds, allowing God to work in and through us. Without it, our blessings may be delayed, not because God withholds them, but because our hearts are not yet ready to receive them. So let go. Release what weighs on your soul. Forgive those who need forgiveness, even if that person is yourself. By doing so, you not only pave the way for inner peace but also prepare yourself for the revelations and blessings God has already reserved for you. Silence is a state we often misinterpret as absence when in reality, it is fertile ground for preparation. When God seems silent, it is not because He has distanced Himself or forgotten us, but because He is working behind the scenes, shaping circumstances in our hearts for something greater. God's silence is an invitation to trust, a call to stand firm in faith as He accomplishes what we cannot yet see. Think of a seed planted in the soil. For a time, all we see is dirt, but beneath the surface, a profound process is unfolding. The seed is germinating, its roots are spreading, and it is growing stronger, preparing to break through the soil at the right moment. The same is true for our lives. Silent moments are periods of invisible growth when God is preparing the ground for the blessings to come. During these times, we are called to grow in patience and trust. It's easy to trust God when everything is going well, but it is in the silence that our faith is truly tested and refined. We learn to walk by faith, not by sight, knowing that even when we don't hear His voice, His presence is constant. In silence, there is also an invitation to introspection. It is a time to look within, confront our fears, doubts, and insecurities. God uses these moments to reveal areas of our lives that need healing or growth. He molds us so that when the revelation arrives, we are ready to receive it with wisdom and maturity. This is a call to trust the process. We are not in control of divine timing, and that can be uncomfortable. We want quick answers and immediate solutions, but God operates at a perfect pace, one that transcends our understanding. He is never late. He works with precision, aligning all things for our good. So, if you are going through a period of silence, know this: it is not an end. It is a prelude to something magnificent. Allow yourself to grow in the silence. Use this time to strengthen your faith, prepare internally, and fully trust the divine plan. God's silence is never empty, it is full of purpose. When the moment of revelation finally arrives, it brings with it a wave of gratitude so intense it's almost impossible not to be moved. Everything that once seemed distant, inaccessible, or even impossible begins to align in ways that can only be described as divine. The revelation of abundance is not just about receiving something material or concrete, but about witnessing the power of divine love and purpose in action. The feeling of experiencing this revelation is like watching a puzzle come together after years of effort. Every piece, even those that seemed confusing or unnecessary, fits perfectly into the bigger picture. What once appeared to be a delay or a detour turns out to have been an essential part of the plan, showing that nothing was wasted. Every tear, every silent prayer, every step taken in the darkness contributed to this moment. When God reveals His abundance, He does so with purpose. This abundance may come in the form of opportunities, restored relationships, inner peace, or material blessings. But more than that, it comes with a renewed understanding of what truly matters. Divine abundance is not just something we receive, it is something that transforms us. It reminds us that we are deeply loved, guided, and called to a higher purpose. The key to fully living this revelation is gratitude. When we recognize the blessings we've received, we are invited to express our gratitude in practical ways. Gratitude is not just spoken words, it is living in alignment with the purpose for which we were blessed. It is using this abundance to serve, to love, and to continue growing spiritually. And in this moment, we are also challenged to share. Divine abundance was never meant to be hoarded for ourselves. By sharing our blessings, we multiply their impact. We can inspire others, support those in need, and contribute to creating a more harmonious world. In this way, what we receive becomes a source of light not only in our lives but in the lives of everyone around us. As you receive your revelation, take a moment to look back and honor how much you've grown during the process. Each challenge, each obstacle overcome, was preparation for this moment. And now, with the revelation before you, embrace it with a heart full of gratitude, knowing that it is a tangible reminder of God's infinite love. With blessings and revelations that transform our lives comes the responsibility to handle these gifts wisely and in alignment with the divine purpose. These blessings are not merely presents. They are invitations to be careful stewards and multipliers of what we have received. Responsibility with blessings begins with the understanding that everything we receive is a resource meant to impact not just our lives but the world around us. The first step is to protect the gifts. Not everyone will understand or support the blessings you've received. Oversharing or sharing with the wrong people can invite doubts, criticism, or even energies that devalue what you've achieved. It's essential to discern with whom and how you share the news of what God has brought into your life. Protect what is sacred, treat your blessings with respect, and guard them as treasures entrusted to you. However, protecting does not mean hiding or hoarding. Multiplying what we receive is a fundamental part of honoring these gifts. We can draw inspiration from the parable of the talents, which teaches us that the resources and opportunities we are given are seeds meant to be cultivated and multiplied. This may mean using your abundance to support meaningful causes, invest in your talents and skills, or simply share wisdom and inspiration with those around you. The impact of our blessings extends beyond our individual lives. When we live aligned with our purpose and multiply what we receive, we become agents of transformation. Every action we take from our blessings can create ripples that touch other lives, inspire change, and help build a world filled with more light and hope. This is the true power of blessings. They not only elevate us but also equip us to elevate others. Being responsible with blessings also means staying in constant connection with God, seeking guidance on how to use them. Pray, meditate, and ask for wisdom to manage what you've received with integrity. Remember that every resource or opportunity brought to your path is a tool to fulfill the mission assigned to you. Use your blessings to advance the divine purpose and manifest God's will in your life and in the lives of those you touch. As you walk with your blessings, maintain a humble heart. Divine gifts are not symbols of superiority but of service. They call us to keep learning, growing, and sharing. By doing so, you demonstrate that you understand the true value of what you've received and are committed to honoring the source of all your abundance. Looking back on the entire journey of challenges, silence, and revelations, we see that every step had a purpose. Every moment of waiting, every test faced, and every tear shed was part of divine preparation. The test was never about punishing or discouraging us but about shaping our character, strengthening our faith, and preparing us for something far greater than we could imagine. God does not operate by chance. He works in eternity, and everything he does is intentional and perfect. The blessings now being revealed are not just a reflection of God's promise but a testimony of his love and faithfulness. He has not forgotten you or abandoned the dreams he planted in your heart. Every difficulty faced, every door that seemed closed, these were building the foundation for this moment of revelation and transformation. And what's even more extraordinary is that these blessings are not only for our benefit but also equip us to be a light for others. Now the question remains, what will you do with all of this? How will you use these blessings to fully live out the divine mission assigned to you? This is the time to reflect on how we can align even more with God's purpose, honor the gifts we've received, and leave a lasting impact on the lives of others. It's an invitation to live with gratitude, share generously, and continue trusting the process, even when the path ahead seems uncertain. Celebrate each small victory with a humble yet confident heart. Never forget that what God has begun in your life, he will be faithful to complete. This is just the beginning of something extraordinary. Your life was created to impact, transform, and reflect divine glory in everything you do. You are part of a greater plan, and the fact that you are here hearing this message is proof that a powerful work is being accomplished in you and through you. So, as you move forward on this journey, remember that every blessing comes with the responsibility to be faithful in the little and to multiply what has been entrusted to you. Let your light shine for those still walking in darkness so they may see in you a reflection of God's love and goodness. This is your opportunity to be an agent of transformation, to touch lives, and to create an eternal impact. For this reason, I encourage you now to declare out loud, I am ready to receive and multiply divine blessings. This affirmation is an act of faith and a commitment to honor all that God has for you. And before we close, I'd like to invite you to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Leave a comment sharing your reflection or how this message resonated with you. Together, we can create a wave of transformation and hope. May God abundantly bless your journey, and may every step you take be guided by the light of divine purpose. Remember, the best is yet to come and your story is just beginning.